Hey, this is Anshuk. I'm a senior software developer at Infosys. So I came across this wonderful platform called Zerve AI, and they were organizing a hackathon. So the primary question for this hackathon was what drives the successful usage of this Zerve.ai, and they have provided usage details from September to December 2025, and that's all we have. And so I'll be walking through how I kind of found out what is the usage pattern which is driving successful usage, and I'll walk around a bit more on how I use Serve.ai to do that and what actually happened. So I just finished completing that notebook. So let's dive right in. But again, so before that, let us first understand what was the data set and how we did it. Okay, so coming to gzog.ai, yeah, so this is a screen that is there. We have the user retention packet file, which is having all the data from September to December 2025 of around more than 4 lakh users. They have found out around 15 to 18 events, and there's 100 countries being involved and all that. So from there, we kind of so I kind of try to find what is the success looks like, how what is the what is the pattern in the first 7 days that we can observe, which can tell that this user is going to be successful. Okay, so let's dive right in. So this is a notebook, and again, so how I started off is with an agent tool call. So I am kind of in this terms power user or an AI user. So um, and that's the context will build up when I tell. So how it happens is, when we give this data set, it did the first exploratory analysis, like loading of the data, cleaning it out, and finding out what is there in the data. And what it what it finds out is that so there are different sections, in through which we will find out this what success means. So first we will go through the data loading and preparation, then we will go to define what success will mean, and we will build we will label the data with successful or unsuccessful users, something like that. And then we will do the feature engineering, like we will find out from the user workflows what are the features that the user is showing in day 0 to day 7. And from there, what we'll try to predict is whether this user is going to be successful or not. And we do have a model that does it. We did a k-means clustering for that, and then we are seeing real good outputs for that. Yeah, so let's dive right in. So when we kind of when we look into the data set, we see four different kinds of user group. One is a power user who is having a lot of, I mean, they're going right into it. So they are starting with a AI agentic way of creating this notebook. They're using agents to create notebooks. They're doing the tool calls. They're refactoring the code blocks. But before that, what are the code blocks, right? So the code blocks are nothing but, if you see, right, this notebook, this kind of, I mean, this platform has a great feature of putting down cells as workable blocks. So what so when we upload a notebook over here, it will kind of understand, and it will divide this it will link the cells between into logical flows, so that when the agent, when we let the AI do the code, it will actually understand how the data is flowing, and it will turn this particular notebook into workflows. So this is a workflow it created for me to predict what is driving the success. What is how do we predict a successful user? So right into it. So from there we found the credits. So we found the events that are there. So we see that there is a create block event. There is a kind of credit being used, and then there is a run block and get block. So there is also events for creation of the ticket. Closing of the ticket means the whole task has been completed, so the ticket has been closed. So this ticket closing feature means that for a certain given task, the user has completed it fully. That is this particular feature comes from the Git. So we have proper integration with the GitHub. So if there is a ticket that needs to be done, it can be pulled out by the agent, solve it by using the workflow over here, and that closes the ticket. So that is one way. So this is like a notebook which can, we can build the workflows, close the tickets, and all that. So those all agentic related workflows can be done over here. Way that this agent gets triggered, I mean, they create these blocks over here. So you start with an agent, you create this agentic tool, you get a block created, then you go through and you do the refactoring over here. So that means you're covering these almost every element over here. So you are doing the AI, I mean, you are getting inside, you're going inside through AI way. You're not doing a manual, you're not touching this platform manual way. You're going through in a AI way, and from there, what you are doing is you're kind of triggering the base. You're creating the base notebook out, and then you're going step by step into each block, refactoring it, rerunning it, refining that particular thing, and ultimately you are closing a ticket. So that is the whole workflow. That is the best workflow that comes with the best success rate. So that is being told over here. So there is this ranking of the behavior, right? So if we have the AI tool diversity being observed in a particular user, there is a positive scenario that they will be success, right? If there is a distinct AI tools being used, there is a refactor block being called, and the first action of the user is via a AI tool, that means that is a huge, I mean, these are the four patterns of behavior that is driving the heaviest positive signals for success. So we do have all the supportive things over here, and after that, there is a feature called report creation. So if I ask to ingest everything and create a report out of that, that is also possible. So Zerve.ai provides that also, and here comes the report. So if you see, so we have 2134 eligible users that were analyzed. We have 430 successful users, that is 20.1% over here. And we have a dominant predictor importance. So summarizing everything, what is success? So the definition of success would be that if the user meets three or more of these five observable criteria within the period of 1 to 7 days, then the user is mostly going to be successful. And what are the criteria? So they have to return back within the first week. If the users are returning back within the first week, then obviously there is a signal of success. We see that if there is three or more distinct AI tools being used, if there is a refactor kind of, I mean, the user is showing signs of going into the code, checking the quality of the code, refactoring it, and all that. And then if the user is actually finishing a task, he started off with a task, is not leaving it behind, is finishing a task, that is one more signal. And then if the user, and this is very interesting, that if the user has actually paid for add-on credit, he has exhausted all his free credits, he have actually paid for an add-on credit, and and that is a very big predictor for a successful usage, because credits are being used from calling AI tools and actually delivering values and all that. So only paying, I mean, there can be a lot of usage that the user is doing but not something productive. So that's why we cannot actually judge only on the AI credits. But then that's, I mean, if these all are being covered along with paying off credit, that means the user is going into the code, he's kind of refactoring it, he is completing the task also and then he is properly using the AI features of the application. So it's amalgamation of both manual and AI usage, along with the integration with the ticketing systems and all that. So it's kind of covering all the boundaries where a successful users can be. and there is this 430 users who have mostly qualified and covered this whole corpus of judgment, and they have they've covered 70% of this behaviors in their time frame of 28 days. So this is the direction that it should go. Total events in the first week, I mean, these all are negative things, but I mean, the first thing is using of refactor tool. So this using of refactor tool has the most importance in deciding success, because you're actually going inside the tool, you're actually going inside the code when you are using a refactor tool. So that's correct. Let's go on to the behaviors once more. So these are the high end, I mean, groups from a broad end perspective, and how we see it. So we have the AI tools, calls, distinct AI tools used, quality and refinement, usage used, refactor verified the output, and then they get engaged. So we have the AI tool that is being used, the qualities and refinements that are being done, and someone is actually verifying the output. So there is a successful and an unsuccessful percentage being given, and what is the chance of being successful with this particular V behavior is being showed out. Basically what got observed is, if you go inside, use the AI tool, then refactor the block, and then come out of it, and then maybe complete a ticket. So this flow, right, this flow is coming up to be the most successful flow. Yeah. So this is the report that went in. I will share it, put it down into the links, and please feel free to go through this particular notebook and not notebook, but yeah, the report, and let me know your comments. Thank you.